you. Welcome back. This is Wayne Madsen with the Wayne Madsen Report, the Saturday Roundup, and we're talking about the revolts, the popular revolutions that are springing up all over North Africa and the Middle East, soon coming to sub-Saharan Africa and Central Asia and Europe. Let's not forget about Europe. There are mass demonstrations in Serbia today, in Belgrade. There have been mass demonstrations against the government in Albania. You won't hear about that on the corporate media because they don't want to let the American people know that this is a global phenomenon. They want people to think, oh, this is a bunch of radical Muslims trying to create another Iran. Poppycock nonsense. That's not what this is. That's what they want you to believe it is. And let's go to the phones. We got Carlisle calling in from Minnesota. Are you with us, Carlisle?
I'm with you. Is this Wayne Madsen?
Yes, it is.
The mistake that people, when we talk about higher food prices, the soft commodities, you got to remember that also, you know, copper prices have doubled, cotton prices have doubled.
Yes.
Back in 2008, the price of oil went to $147 per barrel, and then over the next 5 months, it went all the way down to $32 per barrel.
Right.
Now, people need to realize that this has nothing to do with any sort of global conspiracy. This is leveraged speculators.
Yes, right, absolutely.
They drive the price up and down. Now, you know, the S&P 500 was at 666 a little less than 2 years ago, and today it's at 1,300. It's doubled.
Right.
And we've seen the same thing. Oil has now gone from $32 to over $100. These are what you call boom and bust. And it's a result of the Jewish confetti which the Federal Reserve bankers have been injecting into the system, and these people are profiting. In other words, if you bought oil futures 22 months ago, you've tripled your money. If you bought cotton or futures or soft commodity futures, you've tripled your money. If you bought S&P futures, you've doubled your money. This is a boom and bust cycle. In other words, what I'm saying, these prices will crash again. Everyone here make the mistake of assuming that when prices go higher, they will continue higher. This is the same mistake.
No, absolutely not. And isn't it funny? You mentioned cotton. Egypt is an exporter of cotton, yet we subsidize the wheat that goes in there from this country. And it's, so if the price of cotton has gone up, why has this not trickled down to the Egyptian people who are living in cemeteries and living in garbage dumps? Now, certainly Mubarak has fattened his wallet to the tune of some $70 billion. But you're right. You've got George Soros, who's the head of the largest hedge fund, Quantum Fund. And by the way, it was no mistake that the last two James Bond movies, the villain was called Quantum of Solace, right? And and Daniel Craig and that entire production staff has been fired because Soros bought the studio. He didn't like the attention being brought. It was him they were talking about. And these people short economies by shorting their currencies, their monetary units, and as you say, they manipulate prices. They get in when the price is high, they bring the price down, and they get out before the commodities or whatever the commodity prices go down. But this is the game that's been played time in and time out by these people at Goldman Sachs and the Quantum Fund and the Rothschild family and the rest of them.
Well, I would exclude the Rothschild family. They're irrelevant at this point. But when you say Goldman Sachs and George Soros, you're absolutely correct. What they do is, doubling your money in 2 years, that ain't too bad when you can triple it or quadruple it. That's not too bad either. That's what these people are doing. And so, when people try, and frankly, everyone thinks that gold and silver is different. Like on RBN, they're always trying to sell that. Well, it's the same thing with gold and silver. The price is being manipulated. It has nothing to do with supply and demand. Everyone thinks, the cost of this is the same mistake that everyone made in 2000. The price of oil is at $147 a barrel because of the supply and demand equation. Peak oil and all of this nonsense. And they're making the same mistake again.
Absolutely.
People that sucker into this idea, which a lot of RBN people are trying to sell, that, buy silver, it can only go higher. That's the same argument that we heard with oil and, soft commodities. The price can only go out. There's a big squeeze. It's just going to go higher and higher. We had a situation very recently where when you take market sentiment reading, the last time I checked about a month ago, market sentiment readings on gold was at 99% bullish, and on silver, 98% bullish. This is the time to get out.
Right. Okay, well, thanks for calling in, Carlisle from Minnesota. And we will be right back with more of your phone calls right after this break. This is Wayne Madsen from Washington.